Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to my YouTube channel called Living in Hayward, Wisconsin, where we talk about all things real estate related and also what it's like to live in Hayward, Wisconsin and the surrounding areas. And today I think you're going to be really interested in what I have to share. I am Audrey Miller. I am the broker owner of Northwest Wisconsin Realty Team right on Main Street in Hayward, Wisconsin. And we're going to talk today about price points for lakefront property in the area. So whether you're a buyer or a seller, you may be interested to know, what is my place worth potentially, or what can I afford on the lakefront market in and around the Hayward area? And stay tuned until the end of the video where I'll tell you a pro tip for how to get more for your money when looking for lakefront property in northern Wisconsin. I'm Audrey Miller. I'm the broker owner of Northwest Wisconsin Realty Team, and I'm happy you're joining me today for this video about lakefront affordability in the Hayward area. And this can be for sellers or buyers. If you're a seller and you're wondering what your property might be worth, feel free to reach out and I can help you with that. You might have a nice surprise on what your lakefront property could be worth, whether that's vacant land or if you already have a house on the property. And if you're a buyer, I think you're going to find this helpful in terms of what you can afford on which lakes, what you can get for maybe 600, 700, 900,000 in the Hayward and surrounding areas. And before I delve into the specifics of properties in particular that have sold in the last year in 2023, I wanted to give you a broad overview of the market that we're experiencing in the spring of 2024, which is when this video is being recorded. So our days on market have increased just a little bit over the last year and a half. For lakefront property in all of Sawyer County, we are now at 79 days on market. Just if you want to know, interestingly enough, the overall days on market for on and off water properties is 92 for the year of 2023. So you can see that lakefront properties sell quite a bit more quickly. There's still high demand. It's definitely still a seller's market. But I always say to buyers, they're not making any more lakefront, so it's always a good investment. The values will just continue to go up. We've seen that historically, and I have no doubt we will continue to see that into the future. Plus, I mean, what better place to spend summer days than on a lake in northern Wisconsin? So 79 days on market. Keep in mind that is from the time that it is listed until it closes. So the majority of that time frame is the closing process, whether there's contingencies such as financing, inspections, appraisal, etc. If it's a cash offer, they'll close sooner. But at 79 days on market, you can figure that places are going under contract on average within a few weeks. So there's not much time. If you think that we're in a market where you can wait and see on a property, if you really want it, that's not going to be a good option. You're going to have to get there quickly. There is still competitive situations where there's multiple offers. Not quite as much as there used to be, but it's still relatively common. And secondly, you can expect to pay full price. The average lakefront property is selling for 98.2% of full asking price. So that means some properties are going a little bit over, some are going a little bit under, but basically you're going to pay full price for a lakefront property in the area. And then the third thing is average sale price. I thought you might find this interesting. In this video, we're going to talk about properties in the 650 and above range. I did another video, part 1, for the $400,000 to $600,000 range. So if that's the price range you're in, maybe go ahead and check out that video on my channel. Otherwise, this video is regarding 650 and above. In all of Sawyer County, and that includes like eastern Sawyer County, Winter, Ojibwa, and those areas, the average lakefront price, including condo properties, is $622,000 for the year of 2023. When you look at just standalone properties, so excluding condos, and you look in the Hayward and Stone Lake areas, the average sale price is $705,000 in 2023. So I thought you might find those things interesting. And then we're going to delve into some specifics, and I'm going to show you exactly what you may have been able to purchase in 2023 or what you can purchase in 2024 if you have a budget between $650,000 on up to, 1.2 or 1.3 million. So we'll delve into that now. Okay, so now let's dive a little bit more into the specifics of some of these properties that are in that 650 and up range. And I'm just going to kind of show you what you might have been able to buy in the year of 2023 and really going forward into 2024 in this price range. So we're going to start with this really beautiful property on Schoolhouse Lake. Schoolhouse and Durfee are not far from Grindstone and Lac-Courte, but combined, those two lakes are around 250 or 300 acres. So again, we have the small lake with a very nice home. This house was 2,850 square feet, 4 beds, 3 baths. It had been updated, and a 4-car detached garage. And that came on the market at $589 and sold for well over asking price at $665. And it went under contract immediately, actually closed within 12 days of coming on the market. So that was very, very quick, just time to get title work done. But that gives you an example of being willing to be on a smaller lake and still in a great location in proximity to Hayward, how much more house you can get for your money if a smaller lake is something that you're open to. This had, I'll show you a few more pictures of this in a bit, but it had beautiful frontage as well. This second one is on Lake Wendigo. Wendigo is a 500 some acre lake about 15 minutes south of Hayward. So again, great location in proximity to Hayward. And this one was 3,160 square feet, built in 1991, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car garage. And this sold for $695, just over the full asking price of $689.99. And the third one I wanted to show you in this price range, this one is on Round Lake. So now you're going to kind of see how you get less house and more lake. So these are all things that I can help you with. And if you haven't watched my video called What Lake Should I Buy Property On in Hayward, Wisconsin, maybe you want to check that one out too, because it'll give you a good idea, a little more of an overview of the lakes in the area and the sizes and price points, pros and cons, and all of that. So feel free to check that out too. This one was on Round Lake, 1,800 square feet, older construction. That just means the year of build is unknown when it says 1,500. And 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car detached garage, and it sold for the full asking price of $733,000. So that's just, additional information for you in that $700,000 range. Now let's bump up to around $900,000. And these, you know what? I wanted to go back and show you just a little bit on one of those for $700,000. I just wanted to show you a few more pictures of that, or in the between $600,000 and $750,000 price range. This was the one that I mentioned on Schoolhouse Lake. So you can see this frontage was really nice and sandy. It was actually a picture of the before, because this had been completely redone and built onto beautiful log work on the inside, fireplace, super cozy, big windows facing the lake. So this is a really, really nice home that had been very updated and remodeled recently. Even an outdoor shower, which is so cool. But check out that fire pit by the lake. You still have, even on a smaller lake, you can still do fishing, you can do boating, you have the ambiance, you have the views. But obviously some of the, more water sport type things are tougher. And if you like to pontoon all day or go to bars and restaurants, that probably isn't a good size of lake for you at 250 acres. So I just wanted to show you a few more pictures of that one. And then we will jump into the next price point up, which is going to be in that 900 range, give or take a little bit. All right, now we're going to move on to around that 900,000 range. And typically when you get into this budget, you are going to be on the more tier 1 and tier 2 lakes, bigger lakes with great water clarity, great location. So typically that's what you're going to find when you get into this price point. Also, there's a little bit less competition when you get in that million mark and over, because there are definitely a good segment of the buyers that can't afford that price point. So if you can, that does put you in kind of an elite group of buyers where you may not have as much competition for a property as if you're in that, $500,000-$600,000 range. So this first one is on Spider Lake. Spider is one of the quiet lakes. It's out by Teal and Lost Land Lake, about 20 to 30 minutes east of Hayward off of Highway 77. Really nice, highly desirable lake. A little bit on the smaller side in terms of lakes around here, at around 1,500 or 1,800 acres, but it has some really nice properties on it. So this one was remodeled completely, but it had been built in 1960, 1,944 square feet, 3 beds, 2 baths, 2-car garage, and it sold for over list price at $875,000. The next one is on Round Lake. So this is kind of a lower range home on Round Lake in terms of what you can get on Round Lake, but it gives you a good idea for the price point. You know, remember, if you're getting on a condo, even in Round Lake, your base starting price is $400,000 and up. For a standalone on Round, you're typically going to be looking at least $700,000. So this is sort of in the middle to upper range on Round Lake, and then it goes up from here. So again, Round is the lake that is about 10 minutes east of Hayward. It is a tier 1 lake, highly desirable 3,000 acre lake. This house was 1,344 square feet, built in 1961, 4 beds, 2 baths, 2-car garage. And that one sold for the full asking price of $860,000, closed in a relatively short amount of time, indicating that it was probably a cash offer. And then this third one I wanted to mention, this one is on Wendigo Lake, but it's a very large home. 3,200 square feet, newer construction, built in 2005. Wendigo is a 500-acre lake south of Hayward, about 10 to 15 minutes. 3 beds, 3.5 baths, 2-car garage, and that sold for $915,000 after they had listed it at $995,000. And that one took a bit to sell. They may have started out a little bit aggressive on price, and so the market showed them they were slightly high, and it did drop down to $915,000 for a sale price over time. And then I'm going to just show you photos of one of these. This is the one on Round. So it's sold in the wintertime, so those pictures are never as pretty, but these are the photos of the property on Round Lake that sold for $860,000. And as always on lakes, elevation is a huge deal. Everybody loves their low elevation. Medium's not too bad. That's 16 to 35 steps down to the water. But I definitely have buyers who only want low elevation, so those properties are always at a premium. This one looks like it had medium elevation, very nicely updated inside, very cute place, but you know, 1,300 and some square feet, so it's not too huge. But I just wanted to kind of give you a peek inside of that. They even had a sauna there, so that's kind of an added bonus for sure. All right, and then getting into the $1 million and above price point, these are typically going to always be on the premier lakes in the area. And I'll just show you a couple of these. This is on Lakefront. Lakefront is over 5,000 acres, great water clarity. There's bars and restaurants on the lake. This one was 3,400 square feet, built in 2013, 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a 3-car attached garage. And that sold for $1.1 million after being listed at $1,085,000. Great purchase on that one. This next one is on Grindstone, which is adjacent to Lakefront. Again, a premier tier 1 lake in the area, over 3,000 acres, great water clarity. No bars and restaurants on this one, but you can often, with a certain boat, depending on water levels, etc., you can get back and forth between Grindstone and Lakefront. Some people don't know that. This was 2,864 square feet, again, newer construction, built in 2004. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 3-car detached garage, and that sold for the full asking price of $1.2 million. It's just getting harder and harder to get on these premier lakes in the area. Vacant land is virtually non-existent, and the properties that do come up usually are very competitive and they sell quickly, and for good reason. These are lakes that people want to be on. A lot of people keep their properties, they pass them on in the family, so there's just not as many available. So if you want to be on one of these lakes, let me know and I'll start watching for you, and we'll have to, act on it as soon as something comes on the market. And then this one sold for significantly more than the other two. This is on Round Lake, built in 2012, 3,352 square feet, just beautiful inside and out. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, a 3-car detached garage. And this one actually went for $2.29 million. Likely it had a lot of extra frontage or some acreage with it to be in that price point. Actually didn't pull up the additional details on it, but my guess is it had some privacy, acreage, or extra frontage to go that much higher than the other comparables on similar lakes. And I'll just show you this one a little bit here on Lakefront. Just show you a few pictures of this one. Yeah, great views, the chalet style with the big windows in the front, and spacious stone fireplace, all the things of the quintessential lake home. And then I told you if you watch till the end, I'd have a pro tip for you and kind of a little bit of other information on how you can get more for your money when buying lakefront in northern Wisconsin. And the answer to that is location. If you don't need to be as close to the Hayward or Stone Lake areas, which is kind of the center of the vacation area, and you don't mind being a little further from amenities, you can get more for your money on a mid to larger size lake for quite a bit less. So you'll get a lot more house, maybe smaller lake, and a little further from amenities. But this is a very good option for people who want the ambiance of the lake. They want the water clarity, and they want to be in the North Woods, but they don't mind if it's slightly smaller, maybe not a tier 1 lake, but also that it's a little bit further to a grocery store or a hospital. I'm not talking like hours, but maybe 30 to 45 minutes instead of 15 to 20 minutes. So these are 3 that sold in this higher end range, but you get more house for your money. So this first one was on Shell Lake, which is a really clear lake closer to the Twin Cities. That's one plus of this one. And this was 2,100 square feet, built in 1996, 3 beds, 2 baths, 2-car garage. And this sold for $665 after being listed for $669. Shell Lake is known for having really nice beaches, a lot of low elevation on that lake and a lot of sandy beaches. And this beautiful home was on a small lake called Birch Lake down by Birchwood, 300 to 400 acre lake. So you can see here how you can get a lot more square footage, 3 beds, 3.5 baths, 3-car attached garage for a price of $790. If you were to take this home and you were to put it on Lac Courte Oreille or Grindstone or Round in proximity to Hayward and on one of the tier 1 lakes, this same home would be probably around that 1.1, 1.2 million versus the 790,000 that you can see that it sold for. And then this third one is over by Minong off of Andy's Drive. Again, very large home, newer construction, 4 beds, 3 baths, 2-car garage area. And this sold for $950,000. So this is just giving you a very good overview of what you can get for your money. And if you're a seller watching this and you think, wow, my place is worth more than I thought, or I'm curious what my place is worth, please reach out to me. And if you're a buyer watching this, I hope that we can connect and I can help you with your property search and use my experience and extensive knowledge of the area to help you out in the buying process. And as always, feel free to subscribe or like or share my channel, and I'll be continuing to post new videos on a regular basis. And I hope to hear from you soon.